The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "Whoever loves me will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our dwelling with him. Whoever does not love me does not keep my words, yet the word you hear is not mine, but that of the Father who sent me. I have told you this while I am with you. The Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you everything and remind you of all that I told you. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give it to you. Do not let your hearts be troubled or afraid. You heard me tell you, I am going away and I will come back to you. If you loved me, you would rejoice that I am going to the Father. For the Father is greater than I, and now I have told you this before it happens, so that when it happens, you may believe." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Whoever loves me will keep my word. This is kind of a fairly obvious thing about being Christian. Like, if you love Jesus Christ, you're going to do what he tells you. But it's amazing how many people, in the name of Christianity, get off and far in the left field and far in the right field and are ignoring something of what Jesus said. Very often I run across people who talk about the God of the Old Testament as being different from the God of the New Testament. Like, those are two different gods. No, same God, same guy. There's only one God. And it's the same one. And sometimes people try to make a separation between the Beatitudes and the Ten Commandments. Jesus is about the Beatitudes. That's all we need to pay attention to. We don't need to worry about the Ten Commandments. It's all about love now. All we need to do is love people. And in many ways, that's true. All we do need to do is love people. But it's really hard to love people and not follow the Ten Commandments. It's really hard to love someone while you're killing them. It's really hard to love someone and lie to them. It's really hard to love God and not respect his name. It's really hard to love God and not honor the Sabbath. It's really hard to love your parents. No, I'm just going to stop there. It's really hard to love your parents and not honor them. It is so important to realize the Ten Commandments are an instruction set of love. And when we try to separate the Old Testament from the New Testament, and then some people even start going further, well, the Holy Spirit is teaching us a whole new thing. The Holy Spirit is not going to lead us away from Jesus Christ and his teachings. I was reading just yesterday an article about the head of a Protestant seminary, who said that she didn't believe in the resurrection, she didn't believe in the virgin birth, she didn't believe in there actually being a God, and she was the head of a Protestant seminary. And she still claimed herself to be Christian. But what does it mean to be Christian if you've gone that far away from the message of Christ? It's important for us to be grounded in the truths of the faith that have been passed down, but also to be open to the Holy Spirit, enlivening how do I live that? The Ten Commandments, if I just tried to follow the Ten Commandments without talking to the Holy Spirit in prayer, it really can be fairly lifeless. I just have a list of things to avoid. I don't have how should I love. Part of loving is avoiding these things, but what's the should? How should I be doing this? We find some of that instruction in the Beatitudes, but it doesn't tell us everything. How do I love my parents in this moment? How do I love my children in this moment? That's an important thing for us to be turning to the Holy Spirit. When was the last time we stopped and prayed, Come, Holy Spirit. And it's a very simple prayer. But just to simply stop and pray, come, Holy Spirit. Jesus says in this gospel passage, the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you everything and remind you of all that I told you. It's amazing the writings of some of the saints who weren't highly educated. They knew the basics of the faith, but then they prayed on a regular basis. Come, Holy Spirit. Come, Holy Spirit, teach me. Come, Holy Spirit, enlighten me. Come, Holy Spirit, guide me. You know, there's a lot of times that in our daily life we just don't know what to do. What would happen if we just stopped and said, come, Holy Spirit, guide me in this moment? There's actually a small joke in the Catechism of the Catholic Church. Most people don't get it because the joke isn't in English. In the English version, you just totally miss it. It says, St. Paul tells us to pray without ceasing. The Catechism follows it up with talking about how you can't pray without ceasing unless you stop to pray. You don't hear the joke in that, but if you look in different translations, it basically comes off as you can't pray without stopping unless you stop to pray. We need to realize that. We need to realize that we need those moments of prayer to stop. Whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a half hour, to have a consistent amount of prayer that we stop and say, come, Holy Spirit, guide my heart. Or even better, come, Holy Spirit, guide my prayer. When was the last time I let God be in charge of how I pray with my prayer time? To really say, come, Holy Spirit, this time is yours. Do with me what you want. Guide my heart. Guide my mind. Guide my prayer. Come, Holy Spirit. As we move closer and closer to Pentecost, the end of the Easter season, in this week, may we just take time to pause and say, come, Holy Spirit. Come, Holy Spirit, guide my prayer. Come, Holy Spirit, guide my life. Come, Holy Spirit, guide my words. Come, Holy Spirit, guide my actions. Come, Holy Spirit, guide my thoughts. Come, Holy Spirit, come.